So I've never performed magic to anybody who isn't my kids or my wife. And this weekend, inspired by this guy, this guy, and this guy, I decided to change that. On a family day out, I performed a couple of tricks. I got roasted by one of my nephews, and my sister-in-law thinks I'm David Blaine. I've also been trying to do this, and it's going exactly how you would imagine. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, he's only done it. Oh. Fuck's sake. So yeah, we've had something in the calendar for quite a while now, and it was a family day out with my nieces and nephews and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and some of the other family to go to a farm. So I've had my eye on the calendar to be like, I'm gonna try and stump up the courage before this to learn some magic tricks, and I'll try and perform them on the day. So it was a mixed bag, admittedly. I took extreme burn, which I performed on the channel before. I took a hop and half using British currency. I also took a Bitcoin, so really visual stuff for the kids to try and impress them. And then I had a few bits on my phone as well. I think the first thing was just, the thing I was struggling with initially was looking for an opportunity to be able to perform the trick. Like when is the right time to stop everybody what they're doing, to say, oh, look at me, I'm gonna show you something. So that was a real challenge, and as I've spoken about before on the channel, I am autistic, so these things do not come naturally to me, to say the least. But I did find an opportunity, and it went terribly. So we were there for like a couple of hours with the kids had been running around. It was this really like interactive place, and we came back to have some lunch in the picnic area. And I was thinking, right, okay, this is the time, like all the kids are sitting down, everybody's quiet, sort of just eating. I'll see if I can grab my nephew's attention, my eldest nephew, Sean, and he's 11, I think. And I was like, Sean, come here, do you want to see something? And I pulled Extreme Burn out my wallet, and anyway, started counting the bills and done the change, and it was just a disaster. Like, he looked at the money that I changed, he looked at me, and he just went, well, that's just magnets. And then I'm like stood there thinking, oh, for fuck's sake. So I was immediately like crawled back into my box. It was just an awful feeling. I mean, I brushed it off to him. I was like, no, absolutely not. You couldn't possibly put magnets inside a paper and try to play it down a bit. But I was so disappointed. I felt like I'd waited all morning / day to get to this opportunity to be like, oh, do you want to see a magic trick? And I thought 11-year-old would be absolutely, oh, totally, let's see magic. And he was the most unimpressed little I've ever seen in my life. I was half tempted to tell him that Santa wasn't real just to get him back. But I wasn't going to do that. So I just, that was it. I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to try anything else. Like, I'm not very good at this. I'm just going to leave it. And I'd noticed while I was showing him it, my sister-in-law was sort of watching, and she did seem interested. So anyway, a couple of more hours go by. I'm walking down to grab a coffee. It had like a little farmhouse, and I was like, look, I'm going to go and sit down for a bit, and my sister-in-law come with us. And we're sitting there, and my phone was out on the table, and I had the trick, the digital force bag trick in my phone wallet. So there's just I'll show you actually. So it just says your card. And again, this is one that I learned from Fred, from the Underperforming Hobbyist. He talked about it and how it works so well, and that people ask you to do the trick. So I was like, as soon as she said, oh, what's that? Is that my card? Like jokingly, I'm gonna have to do it now. So went through the routine, and I have ballsed this one up before. So I tried to show my sister ages ago when I first got it, and I got the numbers wrong, and I completely bollocks that one up. And yeah, that was a disaster. But anyway, I didn't balls this up. So we sort of went through the routine, and I took it really slowly. And I was just sort of, because I was chilled, there was nobody else around, it was just me and her. I could really talk her through the trick. We get to the end of the trick, and she checks the notes app and it's her card at the number that she's chosen, and she was just absolutely mind blown. And it was the most amazing experience. I think from being like, having my confidence knocked by the young'un earlier in the day, I was like, oh my God, that's just put me off. I'm just going to stick to posting shorts on social media. I'm not going to bother with this ever again. To her being inquisitive and asking about it, it like changed the day completely. And because it was so unexpected, like my phone was just out on the table that we were sitting at, she sort of led on that, so I didn't have to ask her, and it was just so impromptu. I'm so happy that I had that in my phone. And then I started showing her a few other tricks. So I showed her unexpected delivery. So if you've never seen that one before, it's a really good app as well. You basically have a deck of cards, you force a card onto the person, you then run through the routine and ask them to shuffle the cards X amount of times. You then show them the phone and say, put in how many times you've shuffled the deck. And then it'll, as they're like typing in how many times they've shuffled the deck, I'm saying, right, that app's gonna guess like what your card is. And there's like a thing pops up from a Ring doorbell, and it's a delivery driver at your door. And then it just gets a bit awkward. You're like, oh my God, hang on a second, press the button. And then the guy's there and you're like, hello. And anyway, the delivery guy like shows their card up to the camera, and it's a really like extraordinary moment. As soon as it was demmed on me, I was like, I'm buying that, it's amazing. And I've probably just undersold it massively. But again, a really magical moment for her. And I think one of the things I've been guilty of is like when I'm learning some of these tricks, I often think, oh, I know the method now, it's so obvious. But then I forgot about how I felt when I was first like presented with the trick, or when I first seen the trailer for it. And so again, she was just totally like, oh, what the hell, like mind blown, and she was really enjoying it. And I was really enjoying it because she was really enjoying it. And it just was this amazing feeling of just like sharing this moment with somebody whose mind was blown. And it was so nice. And then I showed her a self-working card trick that I've been learning, that I've learned on YouTube. That was another good one. And then anyway, the kids started running back, and it just sort of naturally faded out. And I went from having a disastrous roasting from my nephew to just finishing the day feeling like I was on cloud nine. And I just think because it was out of my hands when like she asked for the trick, so I didn't have the anxiety of knowing, oh, when's the best time to try this, or when's the best time to approach. It was just so natural, and I couldn't have asked for a better person to share that moment with. It was just fantastic. So I went from being in a little bit of a huff to suddenly just now inspired to want to try and do more. So we've got another day out planned next weekend for the bank holiday, and we're going with some of my wife's friends. So that's going to be a less safe space for me, I think, because again, I don't really know these people as well as I know my family. But I'm determined to grab one of them, or even just leave my phone in a place where someone's going to ask that question, and then it can just get us in easily to performing a few tricks for them. So it was a mixed bag, but I'm so happy that it happened, and it's just really motivated us to continue learning. So I've come back home and I'm immediately throwing myself back into magic tricks and trying to learn some new stuff. I might stay away from kids. I forgot kids could be brutal little shits. I'll bear that one in mind for next time, because that was just not a nice feeling to be roasted by a 9-year-old or 11-year-old. Can't remember how old he is. So yeah, and then apart from that, I've been getting in touch with actually some people from the community. So Magic for Beginners, I've been having a chat with him, absolutely lovely guy. I've been chatting a lot with Sean Coleman and a few people from Lloyd's Discord now. Fred, I'm in regular contact with, just sharing, commenting on his stuff and going back and forwards. Magic Patrick, I'm actually going to go on his channel and we're going to have a chat about some magic. So I feel like things are slowly coming together, and it's a nice feeling. I'm starting to meet more people, and I'm really enjoying it. Although I do have severe FOMO about missing the Magic Podcast Convention last week. That was a disappointment, but it was my son's birthday, so I couldn't have went even if I wanted to. So yeah, I've also been trying to learn some card sleights, which I put at card flourishes, which I showed you at the start of the video. That's going about as expected. As you can imagine, got incredibly sore hands, but I'm determined over the next couple of weeks to show that I can do the civil cut and the ATM without dropping cards. So if you like this video, if you want to stay tuned for more of my journey, please drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.